Hey Missouri, my name's December and I'm with the New Left, and I want you to know about the government. Not just our government, but governments around the world. Welcome to Government 101, Forms of Government. Today we're going to learn the different models or forms of government. But please keep in mind that governments are a combination of models and designs. There's not one model for a government, it's a mix, okay? It's a mix. First, what is a republic? Hey, remember when they stabbed Caesar?
Why should Caesar get to stomp around like a giant while the rest of us try not to get smushed under his big feet? What's so great about Caesar? Brutus is just as cute as Caesar. Okay, Brutus is just as smart as Caesar. People totally like Brutus just as much as they like Caesar. And when did it become okay for one person to be the boss of everybody, huh? Because that's not what Rome is about. We should totally just stab Caesar!
Gretchen Wiener's had cracked.
Do you remember who stabbed him? It wasn't the House of Representatives who stabbed him. It wasn't judges who stabbed him. No, it was senators. It was senators. Ever since the line "Et tu, Brutus" became the line to end all plays.
What? Are you kidding? Et tu, Brute? Am I using that right?
Ever since Shakespeare's Caesar, senators have been depicted as mastermind movie villains, rivaling only that of Lex Luthor, okay? Senator Palpatine, that one senator from the X-Men movie that got turned into goo, the House of Cards guy that turned out to be a villain in real life, even in Machete. So what is a republic? Ruled by senators. So the better question is, what is a senator? A. Senators were not elected officials, because that would be a democracy. No, senators are an oligarchy branch of government. It's time for history. In ancient Rome, senators were people who were already, by default, running the city. The guy who controlled the streets being built, the guy who controlled trash collection, the guy who controlled the aqueducts, your utilities department. So their influence and power defaulted them into these positions where they were going to dictate how the city was ran because they controlled these major pieces. And that's how we came to have senators, which is also the villain in another Shakespeare play.
If I know Shakespeare, I thought I was about to kill everybody up in this bitch.
Hey, do you know who else has senators? America. So we are a republic. We're a republic. It's in the Constitution. Ruled by senators. And we are an oligarchy. Ruled by the rich. And we are a gerontocracy. Ruled by the elderly. And we don't seem to have any plans to change any of this. I'm still not 40, Missouri. We had a chance. So, everything but a meritocracy, am I right? Next question. What is a democracy? Remember the Peloponnesian War? For my gamers, it was basically Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It was this exact game, including Medusa and the Cyclops. I don't write the history, okay? Ubisoft does. The Peloponnesian War was Sparta versus Athens. Athens asked the question, what if the people were allowed to elect their own representatives? Okay. Thus, Athens introduced democracy to the world. You know who else has elected representatives? Tell America. So we are a democracy, ruled by representation. Let's switch it up. What is a monarchy? Remember when I brought up the Peloponnesian War? It was basically Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Athens was the democracy. Sparta was the monarchy. Sparta didn't just have one king, they had two. Hell, Leonidas' wife wasn't queen once, she was queen twice.
I choose violence.
And she survived the purge. A monarchy is ruled by king or queen. Now, historically, monarchies are autocratic dictatorships. I'm about to throw some big words at you. The Vatican is the only monarchy in Europe that is still an autocratic dictatorship. What is an autocracy? Glad you asked. Auto is Latin for self. So an autocracy is rule by one, which we associate with rule by dictatorship. But that's not exactly correct. A dictatorship is not always an autocracy. It's any government where leaders are not accountable to anyone. So a dictatorship is rule by will, meaning you are subject to the will of those in power. Pop quiz. Is a monarchy always an autocracy? No, I just told you this. Sparta didn't just have one king, they had two. Sparta was not a dictatorship, not an autocracy. But good job. But you might wonder, today, when is a monarchy not an autocracy? When it's a constitutional monarchy. I don't write this stuff. Or as you commonly would know it as, parliament. Meaning there's a monarch, a congress, a president, and a prime minister. I already made a video on parliaments, so if you want to keep watching, visit thenewleftparty.com. What is a theocracy? A theocracy is rule by religion. A monarchy is always a theocracy because the king or queen is head of the church, so they are by default the highest religious person in the country. But as in the case of Iran, a theocratic government can be ran by the clergy. So a monarchy is always a theocracy, but a theocracy is not always a monarchy. Politics is fun. Now you might wonder, when is a dictator not a monarch? When they're the emperor. For life.
Oligarchy!
Et tu, Brute!
Or so they thought.
We should totally just stab Caesar!
Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for watching and welcome to The New Left. You can keep watching at thenewleftparty.com.